Hi all, Wendy here with Travel with Wendy. Thanks so much for joining me here today, and I'm going to be sharing our recent journey on buying a house in Italy. The things I wished I would have known and the things I do know now that I want to share with you. So come along, here we go. It's always an adventure. After moving back to America in 2019, I knew that part of my heart and soul would remain in Europe, and eventually we would return to Europe part-time or full-time in the future because there was a shift in my thinking somewhere between that time. While living overseas during those years, my global worldview changed. Our search and journey included a few steps that I think are helpful for anyone who might be considering purchasing a home in Europe. As a 20-plus year military spouse, I can share that this is an easier process than any military move we've had. Amen. Welcome to the Travel with Wendy channel. I love connecting and interviewing small business owners around the globe. I like to share reviews and hit the trails hiking. Thanks for joining me today because
it's always an adventure when you travel with Wendy.
Okay, so tip number one is the most common question that I get asked is how do you narrow down the where of where you want to live or purchase in Europe? So this did take us a little bit of time to research it, and what I would recommend, my very first tip, is to actually go and stay in the place that you're researching to purchase a home before you make the big jump and do it. One of the things that John and I did was we spent time in the locations that we thought might be a good fit for us. And don't get caught up with, I really like this place as a vacation spot, so this would probably be a really great place to live. What you'll soon find out and discover is that it might be a really great place to vacation, but not to own a home. So some of the things that you'll want to ask yourself as you're in the destination of possibly purchasing a house is you want to take a look at the cost of living there, the access to public transportation, as well as infrastructure, access to markets and food, all of those things. If those are really important to you, transportation especially, how you're going to get around in Europe, just have those thoughts in mind as you're in your extended stay in the destination that you're researching. So, number two, what kind of resident will you be? Are you going to be a temporary resident or are you going to seek visa status? The visas are different for each country, so depending on if you're looking in Spain, Portugal, Italy, or other European countries, you're going to want to take a look. One of the most common Italian visas is an ERV or elective residency visa, and this is something we may look into eventually. Or are you going to hop back and forth? With our current Blue American passport, it's good for 90 days out of a 180-day visit. And to keep me on track, I use an app called Schengen Simple. Okay, here's another tip. Definitely find a realtor that you can use who possibly speaks both English and the native language of the country that you're looking at. Luckily, we found a wonderful realtor. Her name is Julianne Depp, and she's with Immobilier Polidori, and I will put her information in the descriptions below. But our friend Kel knew her and knew kind of what we were looking for, so this really helped with our search in finding the house that we wanted. She also helped us put together our Codice Fiscale, which is basically your Italian Social Security number. This is critical. You need this to make the offer in Italy, as well as using it for utilities and other major large purchases. You will need this, so don't lose this paperwork and try to memorize your number as well. So I just thank her for walking us through a lot of the things that possibly could have been complicated, and she made it seem easy. If you need a little bit of inspiration and you want to just take a look and see what housing prices are around the area you're looking at, I would definitely recommend using the Idealista app or the Immobilier .it apps. These are great websites as well, and it'll begin your passion for searching. But remember that many listings are not advertised in these apps because it is kind of cost prohibitive for the seller. So John loved looking around the cities that we were investigating and stopping by real estate offices as well. So something else you have to keep in mind is that Italy does not have the same MLS system that we do in America. So if you see a house that you really like, I would recommend that you reach out to the listing agent. The listing agent is going to be the one who shows it to you. Another thing that's a little different is don't be surprised if you do schedule a time or an appointment to see the house and the owners actually accompany you. Sometimes they want to be there when the house is being shown. So this is a typical practice, and we found that to be the case everywhere we went. Next step I want to share is to find the right bank. An international bank, one that speaks English, would be even great. What accounts they have that are available, and don't enter into a contract until you have researched this tip certainly for a little bit. Some banks charge monthly fees. They require proof of residency and other documents. So just be sure you know before you get too far down the research path for the real estate. Make sure you know where you're going to bank. We have also used Wise, used to be known as TransferWise, to convert dollars into euros. It's a very convenient website and app, and it connects with your American bank. They do charge a fee for this, but many times their exchange rate is better than American banks, making it worth it in the end not to transfer directly from your American bank to your European bank. So this next tip is pretty critical, and we did not realize how important it was going to be, but it turned out to be pretty darn important. So definitely you're going to want to have like a good cell phone plan. If your phone is already unlocked and you're moving overseas, then you will have a little bit easier step. We found out that you needed to have an unlocked phone with a SIM card for Italy. And this is used for many different things, including the bank and post office. To verify your identity, they use the 6-digit OTP code. So you're going to want to have an international plan if you're living there or if you're going back and forth. Either way, you're going to want to have it. So you're going to get opportunities to choose a provider. One of the things that you might want to do is at the house you're looking at, check and see what tower is available there, and that might determine which plan and provider you're going to go with. Okay, so this next tip is learning the language. It's really important that you learn the language of the country that you're planning to move to. I can't recommend this enough. And one of the programs that I've been using for many years to learn different languages is called Fluence. And this is available through software online, or you can download the app, and you are able to use it on up to 3 different devices, I think. I'll put the links in the description below for you to have access to it, but I highly recommend an immersive program like this, as well as living in the country for just a little while before you make that purchase. The other apps that are out there are nice and good for really basic, but if you really want to learn sentence structure and be able to communicate, you need to find something like Fluence. Next up, learn, participate, and embrace the local customs. Some of the local customs are very important to learn. For instance, in Italy, there is a pause or pause, penicella, a little nap during the midday. This is quite common. Years ago, during the farming, this was the hottest time of the day, so they rested. And I find this a very welcome rest when I'm there. The next thing is attend the festivals that happen all the time in Europe. They are celebrating a vegetable or something in season. The Bianco Tartufo Festival, the White Truffle Festival in Alba, I've been to several times. And France has special festivals, as well as Germany. So just enjoy the community that you're going to be moving to and their annual celebrations, as well as summer and different seasons. This is a great way to join the community and also help out. So I've shared an awful lot today, and I think it's a great place to start if you haven't started yet. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comments below, because if you've thought about it, so have others, and you're going to be helping the community. So go ahead and ask in the comments, and I will try to answer it. If I don't have the answer, I will try to see if I can help you with that as well. So we're so excited about this next chapter that we have up ahead. We anticipate lots of adventures, and be sure you like, follow, and subscribe, because that way you can stay in tune with what's happening. I promise to share the ups and the downs and everything in between. So thanks so much for joining us on this unforgettable journey. And until next time, ciao.